every school of thought may not agree to quote only Sahih Hadith. So when they say Quran and Sunnah, it may also include Zaif. But we as Muslims, we only follow the Quran and the Sahih Hadith. The Zaif Hadith has its importance. We don't have to negate it completely, but as a hujjah, as a proof, as an argument, as a must to follow, as a fard. If you say it's fard, it can only be from Quran and Sahih Hadith. If it's Zaif, it has its own importance. Two Zaif Hadith can come and make it into a Sahih. So in the Sahih classification again, the Muhaddithin say in the classification, the compilation done by Imam Bukhari, it is said he had memorized about 300,000 ahadith and analyzed 600,000 ahadith, out of which he has picked up 7,563 and authenticated as Sahih. Some publications have 7,275. We have the 9 volumes. In English, Arabic is in 1 volume. There are different prints. Again, when I say 5 volumes, oh, I got a book in 3 volumes. It may change. The print may change. They may make it short, make 5 into 3. They can make 5 into 1 also. Therefore, I mentioned the name of the publication. So Bukhari, this Bukhari, most of the translations in English are in 9 volumes. Urdu may have 6 volumes. Arabic has got only 1 volume. So please don't. There are many people who quote and tell me, brother, okay. One thing I forgot in the translation. That, brother Zakir, we checked up your references of the Quran. Alhamdulillah. 95% correct, but 2-3 places, wrong. I said, you're wrong. Yes, I can make a mistake. I'm not saying I'm infallible. These people don't know that even in numbering of the verses of the Quran, it wasn't revealed chapter number, verse number. The ayat was revealed. Now, when you give references of the Quran, there are different classification of verses. The ayat is the same. The Arabic word does not a difference of even a single alphabet. But it did not come verse number 1, verse number 2. So some of the classifications have converted 1 verse into 2 verses. So when you read, but the difference is not, when you read Surah Ma'idah chapter 5, when I say, Ya alladhina amanu innamal khamru wal maisuru, Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 was 790, but there's not 90, it's actually 93. No, he's referring to another classification. So when you find that the reference is missing, and if it misses by 1 or 2, you have to try and find out which classification has he used. So even in numbering, like Surah Fatiha, some say Bismillah is 1 verse. Some people start with Alhamdulillah. But in the end, it both come to 7. So when they say Bismillah is first verse, they merge the 5th or 6th or 6th and 7th as 1 verse, it comes as 7. When you say Bismillah is not verse number 1, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen is verse number 1, yet it comes to 7. Because cross-reference of the Quran of Surah Hijr, chapter number 15, verse number 87, that the oft-repeated 7 verses. So even in difference of opinion, the verses in Surah Fatiha yet the 7. But otherwise, Surah Ma'idah has got 2-3 verses more. So when you give references, and you check the references, it may be that 1 or 2 in the different Qurans may differ. That doesn't mean that it's a mistake. They have used a different classification for the verses of the Quran. Now coming back to the Hadith. In the classification of the Hadith, Imam Bukhari may, Allah grant him Jannah, Rahimullah, his mission was to collect the Sahih Hadith. And his only job was whether it's Sahih or not. He collected Sahih Hadith, he memorized more than 300,000. And he classified as 7,275 as Sahih. Now in his Jamia Sahih, that you have here, if I quote that Imam Bukhari has classified the Hadith Sahih, but it's not there in the Jamia Sahih, can it be true? Bukhari has classified a Hadith as Sahih, but it's not there in Sahih Bukhari. Can it be possible? Yes or no? Farik.
For example, in Bukhari there are 9 volumes. So if Imam Bukhari has classified certain hadiths, so certain scholars or certain other people, they summarize Bukhari. So if it's there in the summary, so that may be missing in the summary.
I'm saying that it's a hadith of Bukhari classified as Sahih, but not in the 9 volumes. Is it possible? Who says yes? Raise your hand. Brother Imran, Imam Bukhari has classified Sahih, but not in the Sahih Bukhari.
It is possible that it is not mentioned in the Sahih Bukhari because the Sahih Bukhari itself is a collection of hadith as per mention or the sayings of Prophet Muhammad himself. But whether it's authentic or not is something that Bukhari himself said. Yeah, so it does not need to be in the collection.
What was my question?
You asked
Do
that.
you know when I'm asking you yes or no?
Yes.
See, I'm experienced in the field. Sometimes I ask the person knowing he knows the answer. Sometimes I ask knowing very well doesn't know the answer. I asked a question. Imam Bukhari has classified it as Sahih, but not then the Jamia Sahih, the 9 volumes. Is it possible?
It is possible.
How? Give an example.
Because
Do you know or you don't know?
it is possible, is all like.
How is possible? Give explanation. एक क्या yes or no? Yes बोलने का 50% right. हाथ ऊपर करो. You don't know the answer.
I don't know the exact
Yeah.
reason.
Do you have knowledge of hadith? Yes, brother Vinod. Is it possible that Sahih Bukhari has classified it as Sahih and it's not in the Jamia Sahih? If you know, raise your hand. Don't just waste time. I'm very short of time.
Okay, because he mentioned.
Are you sure the answer is correct? Are you sure? Then say, otherwise don't say, please. Forget it. Who's sure of the answer? Sure of the answer, then raise your hand. Let's come back to Farik.
Based on certain categories, Imam Bukhari has classified his hadith
Which
in Sahih
category?
Bukhari.
Which category?
There are about 7 categories that he has classified. And other hadiths also he has classified it, but every scholar had his own strictness. Like Imam Bukhari was the most strict when he collected certain hadiths. So based on that, he compiled those hadiths based on his strictness in Bukhari. There may be certain other hadiths which may be in other books which he may have not put it based on his criteria for classification in Sahih Bukhari. So he may have categorized in some
Who
other
agrees with
books.
the answer of Farik? Raise your hand. Who agrees with the answer? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who disagrees? Raise your hand. Okay, the 6 agree. No one disagrees. Others don't know. Correct. You cannot know also. What Farik said is right, but to give you a better example, that Imam Bukhari in his Jamia Sahih, he said, I will take only hadith of those narrators up to category 3. Even a hadith narrated by category 5 is Sahih. But he says, no, in my Jamia, I will take narrators only up to category 3. I will not take a 5. Though 5 comes into the category of Sahih. If it's narrator number 5, categories of narrators, best, then next, 12 categories. In Sahih Hadith, you can even go up to category number 5. But he said, no, I want the purest. That's my criteria for this collection. So he takes only Hadith which are up to category number 3. Khalas. There are other books of Imam Bukhari which are Sahih, but not so strict as Al-Jami' al-Sahih al-Bukhari. You understand? Who knew this answer besides Farik? Raise your hand now. You don't raise like that. Either you raise like that or keep it down. Okay, 3 knew. Alhamdulillah. So, Imam Bukhari had a set of criteria of being extra strict. There are certain criteria, 5 criteria for hadith to be Sahih. Bukhari went to the extent of adding more strictness. Okay, you pass in 40. No, I want 80% pass. So 40% is pass, but in his Jamia only, he has taken 80%. Just to give you an example. Sahih Muslim had his additional criteria. Besides the 5 criteria for Sahih, he said, no, I take hadith up to narrator category number 4. But the criteria of strictness of Imam Muslim was less than Bukhari. But there were some criteria which Imam Muslim used, which Bukhari didn't use. So among the strict compilers of the hadith, the strictest is Bukhari, stricter than others. But he has said it is Sahih, but not up to this level Sahih. Pass, but not distinction, goes into the other books. So there are books written by Bukhari and compiled hadith which are Sahih, but not falling in the 9 volumes. 9 volumes of English translation. Urdu has 6, Arabic has 1, so don't go on volumes. But the main compilation. Is it clear? So you as a person of knowledge should know these things. Now there are people who said, oh, Bukhari has quoted Zaif hadith. Are there any Zaif hadith in Bukhari? In this book, Sahih Bukhari. Are there any Zaif hadith? Who says no? Raise your hand. No Zaif hadith. Not a single in this book I'm carrying. Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who says there are Zaif hadith? Raise your hand. Full or down? No half. He is a friend from Jamiatul Imam.